What's going on, guys? We're back in the shop, and today I'm hoping to make a pretty big leap in progress. Sitting outside the shop in the bed of the truck, I've got a motor, I've got a mock-up trans, I've got the hoist, motor, mid plate. We've got a bunch of different stuff, and today I want to try and get the motor and trans set down in this thing, because once the motor and trans is set down, we can start building the turbo kit. Stainless Diesel went ahead and got our turbo fixed up from last time. They got it checked out, clean bill of health, everything is good to go. I want to go ahead and get working on the steering. Now, the only reason I want to get working on the steering, number one, is because we have the parts. Number two is because I want to start kind of putting things in the way, so when I build this motor mount and do this setup, we have an idea. We've got a steering column that we can throw in, and I don't have the rod to connect yet, but at least if we've got the column here and the steering rack all bolted in, all of that kind of stuff good to go, we have an idea of where we can start putting things. I need to go ahead and get this front steering mount welded all the way to the frame. It's just tacked on there. We've got new inner tie rods, outer tie rods, bump steer kit. I ordered a TRZ one, it's pretty cool. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to go together here, and then this way we can start getting in the motor and trans. Hopefully that means within the next few days I'll be starting to build a turbo kit, is what I'm looking forward to. But first, I want you guys to check out some of the awesome new parts we got. All right, I am super pumped up because we've got a lot of great packages in the mail, but this one came from Trick Turbo. Now, Rick over at Trick Turbo has been supporting the program for a long time. He's always been down for the cause. And when it came time to get something new for our newest build, I hit him up and said, Rick, I want something, and you've been down for the cause for a long time. I want it to be your product. He said, do you have any requirements? Nope. Send me an invoice and send it. Well, today we finally got it, and I don't know what exactly it is because it didn't say in the invoice, but it's here. Woo! We got some shirts. Hell yeah. There it is. A finely tuned piece right here. Oh, this is the thick boy. He asked me if I wanted to go big or go home, and this is going pretty big. So this is the largest core they offer. It's going to be air to water intercooled right in the intake, and this is one sexy piece right here. I am super pumped about this. I've been waiting to get one of these. It's definitely going to be a step up. We have been kind of getting to our wits' end as far as what we can do with what we've got and making more power and making it safely. This air-to-water intercooler setup is going to allow us to make more power, more safely, and overall just going to be badass. So I'm going to start with the steering rack here without cutting myself. Hopefully I can get this zip tie off. And we have new inner tie rods, so I'm going to go ahead and throw those in. I could just mock it up, or I can throw the new parts on since they're here. That'll save us some time on the back end. That one comes right off. But this one's seen better days. Come on, buddy. You can do it. I believe in you. There we go. We'll work on it. Well, like any good custom project, we've got issues already. So I'm going to show you guys. You've got the Pinto rack here, and if you use the Pinto inner tie rods, right, like what is on here, they are just way too long for where they need to go. We need to be way back here. There's a couple choices we could do here. We could take our new Pinto tie rods and see if somebody can machine it down and then thread it down further and cut it shorter. Or I could just check to see maybe like a Mustang inner tie rod is shorter. Whatever it is, we're gonna need a shorter inner in order for this setup to work here. Kind of sucks, because I wanted to get this knocked out today, but you're gonna have that hiccups along the way, everything. You know what else is nice about this? See what I see? I'm gonna be able to get the oil pan off.
Oh yeah.
Without touching it. Oh man, that thing is close to the rack there. I was having some concern in maybe changing up the design of this rack mount anyway. Well, now what I can do, I have the motor plate that was in the other Camaro, and that one's already chopped and cut up a bunch. Let's grab that and see what that looks like on here to kind of give us an idea of where we gotta go. See, that's gonna be the issue. Those control arm bolts directly in the way. I think what I should do is run to the store and get the right size bolts for the mid plate, get the 2 bolts for the trans mount, lock all those down, because right now we're just kind of guessing. But if I go get all that other stuff, lock it down, and really give ourselves a better idea. But yeah, we're not perfectly lined up. I gotta go bolt shopping. All right, well, I've got everything bolted in, and I've made this little cardboard template for what is going to be my motor plate mount. Now, I'm gonna come off of the frame here, probably, I don't know, 1.5 inches or so. I'm gonna build off of the frame here. This is where we're gonna mount our motor plate, and then on this side, I haven't quite decided what I'm gonna do up here just yet, because it's gonna depend on what headers we're using, and this is also gonna change my idea for what alternator we were gonna use. But I've got a pretty solid template now. We've measured it this way, and seem pretty happy with that. The key here is that I'm not mounting this for the first time, right? The mid plate, the trans mount, those things were already done. All we're doing is taking from what was a big block mount, and we're putting our own motor mount. So we don't have a lot, number one, to figure out as far as angles, centering, everything else. But also number two, we can't really change much either without swapping it all out. So, you know, like I know somebody had asked about the crank center line. We're not setting any of that. It's just gonna be what it is, because the mid plate and the trans mount and all that stuff was already done. So this here is my nice little cardboard cutout. So we'll take this over to our brand new motor plate and screw it all up. So this is gonna get us, there's still gonna be trimming and other stuff involved, but this is gonna get us pretty dang close to where we need to be. So let me mark this up, and then I'm gonna make a really, really scary cut. You got eye protection? All right. Well, we're gonna take a stab at this here. I asked online, and everybody told me take a wood saw and it will cut right through that aluminum. I get it, high speed, blah, blah, blah. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. Take 2, the safety man forgot to plug in the extension cord. It's actually quite painful, because like all the little shards hit you in the head. It was a nice clean cut that we can clean up with a flat disc. Let's see if this works. On the back side here, you can see, because this thing is at an angle, we still got to trim a little bit out here, which is no big deal. Plus, this is getting in our way, and I can tell we're going to need to trim some here. So I'd always rather cut big and then work it down to size, because once it's gone forever. So let me see if we can't trim this up a little bit more. Shout out to my boys at DNS Fab. They had some scrap steel for me that we are now going to turn into the other side of my motor mount situation here. Pull this plate off, weld them, drill them, and then it's done, Jack. Have to leave it like that for now. So I can go get some better drill bits tomorrow. They won't even drill through the aluminum. It's coming together real nice. I'm really pumped up. I mean, we got it in there. Short of drilling 4 holes, which is killing me with these horrible drill bits. It looks like the steering on this side here is going to clear right there. So if we do have to trim it all, it's going to be very little bit off the motor plate. The problem that I have with doing the turbo kit is we got to cap off the front, we got to build the front out, we got to bring the front end over and figure out where that turbo is going to go, because I can put headers on and we can start building pipe out, but if we don't know where the turbo is ending up, that ain't going to do us no good. So let me get some good drill bits. Tomorrow I guess I'll bring over the front end. We'll start seeing what I've got for pipe to build this front out and kind of go from there. Hell yeah. Go team. I went to the store and I bought one single $25 drill bit, but it went through this thing like butter. But look at that. Oh. Get some stuff out of the way. She's out, baby. She is out. That motor is hanging on its own. Motor plate installed. That is a big step. There's a little flex to this plate, but we still got to put some gaskets behind there, so hopefully that takes some of it up. But yeah, motor plate installed. Bang. Bro, chances that we're ever getting a hood on this thing. I have a hood at home. It's got some cowl to it. I don't know if it's going to be enough. We're about to find out. I really want to put a hood on this because I'm tired of like the Nova, no hood, everywhere we go, riding through the rain, all that. This whole valley gets filled with water and shit and everything. Like, we're making an investment here. I'd like to try to protect it. Granted, you know, hood's only going to do so much, but better than what we have been doing. Hey, big lid. We got some stuff in here. I'm gonna have to clean the inside of this out because the last time we ran it, the turbo ate some stuff, and I think all that is gunked up in here. So we're gonna clean that out. Oh, baby. Bro, look at that thing. Whew! That joker is massive, son. Damn! But how gangster does that look? Like, oh. And then Rick sent us some bolts for the top. I'm not gonna go crazy with this because we're just kind of mocking everything up. This way I can build the turbo kit, or at least start getting the idea of building the turbo kit. So now we can kind of see it coming together. I've got multiple sets of headers to try to get this right. The first pair I tried that were off the Nova, they don't work. They stick out too far, so they actually hit these bars. These here are just your standard eBay up and forward headers. They are going to require a little bit of trimming in the holes to get the bolt in. I forgot the bolts anyway. And obviously we're going to need to trim this motor plate, but before I trim the motor plate, I wanted to make a decision on where I thought the turbo kit was going to go, because there's no point, you know, if I cut off here and then realized, oh, we're going to go down and forward somehow, and all I need to do is drill a hole in here, and that thing is gangster. That is some shit right there, bud. Whew. And it's starting to look like a car too now. Like, now that we got motor plate, even though this is just a test motor, We've got our good motor. We've got pieces showing up for the good motor. I'll probably hold off on showing you guys all that until we do the engine assembly video, but just know we're putting a gangster motor in here. We ain't doing no BS no more. Dude, like 2 weeks ago, this was nothing. Like, just judging by the look of this, if we use these headers, we're not going to have any kind of clearance issue with the steering shaft at all. The thing that's unfortunate about this is we're not going to be able to put a low mount alternator on here. Maybe we could get away. See, I don't know. It's like factory LS1s mount down here. And I think it's just going to be too close to that steering shaft because I think they hang pretty low. You want to toss the front end on it? See what it'll look like? Let's grab the front end. Look like they're just really tight. The turbo could be all the way up here. Like, that's insane how far forward we've gotten. And what I was thinking about too, where I cap these off and come out, was I gonna drop it down and come out or come straight out? But looking at this, it looks like straight out would be the answer. If we go straight out here, bam, we might even be able to go right to here, put a plate tube, slide tube into tube. Damn, son. That's a PO mod right there. This is pretty freaking cool. All right, so we've got this thing kind of configured, and I think we're gonna be ready to start building turbo kit soon. There's a couple things that I want to look at because I'm not 100% happy about this motor plate. There's some trimming I gotta do, some little more fitting. We gotta obviously trim for the headers. We're gonna do that. So I'm gonna have to take this apart, trim all that stuff up, then we can connect the headers, and then once we do, we've got, I mean, this thing is crazy. From the front of the balancer forward, we've got over 2 feet where we could go forward and put this turbo. This thing is longer than the Nova, but the wheelbase is shorter, and the longer part is probably all right here. I'm gonna get this stuff kind of taken back apart again. We're gonna look at the motor plate situation. I'm gonna get that figured out, and once I get that to where I'm happy, I'll trim the plate off. Next video, I think we're building turbo kit. Like, I don't see any reason really we shouldn't. So I'm gonna start getting this back the other way and taking it apart a little bit so we can get to that. But that's gonna be it for today, guys. I'll see you guys next time. We're gonna be, like I said, building a turbo kit. It's cool, like when you get these big pieces in, it really starts to look like a car and feel like a car. I know the worst part is yet to come. It's when you get to that final 10% of the work, it seems to take forever, and a lot of these big pieces can go in fast, then it just takes a really long time. So I've got a plan for the turbo kit. Stainless has our turbo back, so shout out Stainless Diesel, they got us ours back, so we can use that for mock-up everything we need to do. I really think it's gonna have to be front and center. I think we're gonna go up here somewhere in this general area, and that may allow us to still use a pretty wide radiator. I was thinking about using a Honda radiator in the center, but we may even still be able to go bigger than that. We'll have to see. But yeah, I mean, unless there's something I'm drastically forgetting, like we can start building the turbo kit, fitting all the accessories around it, and kind of go from there. That's one thing I am going to have to check with those headers and the accessories, because if we have to use the same alternator mount as we have before, I'm not sure if those headers are going to work. But the Nova is still together, so I can take it home and I can put it up against the head there, and we can check the bracket clearance. If the bracket clearance there is good, it's going to be good here, we'll be good to go. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. We got quite a bit knocked out on this project. There is still, I was just joking with somebody, they're like, man, this thing's coming together fast. I was like, yeah, there's still 700 hours worth of work that needs to be done. So we're gonna get back to it, but for now, I'll catch you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Do the damn thing that you guys normally do anyway. I'm feeling pretty stoked. I mean, this thing is coming along pretty damn awesome. I'm really looking forward to getting to the rest of this build, and I'm really looking forward to building the turbo kit because I think it's going to be sick front and center. It's going to suck for the weight bias, but I don't really know that we have much of a choice. I mean, we could try to stick it over there. Let me see. That feels good. Ugh. That could work.
You also got to think about where that tire's going to sit because it's hanging down.
Oh yeah, because the tire's all the way dropped. Yeah. So I think just we're gonna have to do front center. I mean, it'll make it easier. We'll have equal length pipes. Then I can just Y off of the exhaust and come straight out the front bumpers. Boom, 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 the front end. And yeah, I think that's gonna work. So we'll see. I might change my mind 5 more times, but you guys will find out in the next video when I do it and figure it out.